green flag comes out, and we are underway.
Oh, no! They hit. Oh, and now trouble. Oh, yeah.
Over turn 5, known as Madness.
Oh, it will work.
Oh.
Into China Beach. Gene Martin taking a look to the inside. The 2012 NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires is brought to you by Toyo Tires, driven to perform. Royal Purple Synthetic Oil. And by GoPro, be a hero.
Toyo Proxys Tires, official tire of those driven to perform their best.
The next generation 201 horsepower Civic Si with a 2.4 liter IV Tech engine, to each their own, only from Honda.
Honda, proud partner of the IZOD IndyCar Series.
I don't know, some people call me one of the top builders, I guess I am, but I don't see any other way for me personally but to go after it every day. So that's what I do.
What do you drive? Is it inspiring? Was it built by a behemoth car maker? Or insightful craftsmen obsessing over the details, building better cars for a discerning few? Are you one of the few who care about what you drive and how it drives? We're with you because we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
Hi, I'm Brian Miller. Experience the Ford Racing High Performance Driving School at Miller Motorsports Park. Drive real race cars on a real racetrack. MillerMotorsportsPark.com.
Our next race will be STR SU and PTA making their way out onto the racetrack here shortly. Let's get it back down to Jeremy Scott.
Thanks, Rob. We only got a couple minutes. Ralph Provitz is the overall pole sitter. Ralph, general track knowledge. Think he can get up front and do it?
Yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of good cars and a lot of good drivers behind me. Gonna need a lot of luck.
And Ralph, you got that light up top. You're gonna be dealing with slower cars here early on. Are they gonna notice you quick?
Well, just to help them see me, I'm so small of a car, they look out the window, they can't even really see I'm there. So just try a little bit of protection, let them know I'm coming maybe.
Well, good luck. And Corey, right here, if you could kind of focus in on the roll hoop. This is what we're talking about, guys. This is installed by a couple drivers here in the Super Unlimited class with the small prototypes. This is so that way the faster PTA cars can see them in their mirrors because there's such a height difference. Rob?
Well, thanks a lot, Jeremy. And, you know, that brings up a very good point when you're out racing on the racetrack, John, with different types of classes. And like he says, you look in your rearview mirror, you don't see anybody there, and all of a sudden, these guys are up on your rear bumper.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge, especially when you're talking about little prototype cars and open cars that are so bloody fast. The Super Unlimited class, Rob, is kind of our monster class. Anything goes. If it has 4 wheels and passes our safety requirements, although I guess 6 wheels might be okay with one of the old Tyrells from the old days, that would be okay too. But you pass our safety requirements and you can just knock yourself out and create a complete Godzilla monster out of whatever you want to turn into a race car.
So we're going to turn it up here just a little bit as cars will be making their way out onto the racetrack shortly. The Super Unlimiteds, the STR1, STR2, and PTA, and we'll give you your lineup here, starting with Super Unlimited. They will be the first flag flying here in this national championship race. You just heard from the pole sitter, Ralph Provitz, in the 8 car behind him, or next to him rather, the Team ArizonaPaint.com car, number 777. Team Nobama on the racetrack will start 3rd. Michael Bagnoli then Robert Gerwitz, Brian Frizzell, Bert Frizzell, and TeamBoostMedical.com.
Next up, we have STR1. Chris DeSalvo has the pole there, followed by David Davison. David Pinterick is up next, Scott Willem, Terry Free, and Greg Willinghoff.
In STR2, the 18 of Team Fassler, followed by the 98 of James Wagaman. Peter McIntosh, the second in the 3 car, followed by the 50 of Dean Martin. Richard Golinello in the 55X. Jeff Sawtell in the 222. Robin Burnett in the 21. And Craig Capaldi round out your field there in STR2.
PTA is our next group up. David Ziegler has the pole there. Rory Alsberg in the next spot. Kevin Harvey, Morris Morgan, Chris Herrick, and then Justin Onderko. And we will have one flying start on the back straight for all 3 of these classes in the order that we just called them.
So we see the Super Unlimited cars, the Performance Touring cars, the Super Touring cars.
And this is Super Touring R,
John,
Rob.
big difference. Super Touring R.
Super Touring R. We have Super Touring, which has a power to weight ratio, but you still have to use a unibody car. So if you have a Corvette, you still have to use a stock frame. Mustang still has to be the stock frame in it. STR, we let you go a little more nutty, but you're still limited by power to weight and some other small limits on your modifications that can modify your power to weight ratio. But you can run a full custom designed tube frame. There's Team Nobama again. That's probably Rick Newt behind the wheel there. He's doing the racing. Julian Mann is the time trial specialist, but that's a full tube frame car. They're running SU, which is a little bit more hairy, but if they didn't have that mad power with that big Chevy, they probably could fit into STR. So STR is tube frames, but you'll also see a lot of unibody cars here like the Mustang and Corvette running an STR because they had a little conflict with the American Iron race. We put American Iron and ST together for scheduling reasons, but these guys still wanted to run again. So they selected STR. They say, what the heck, the car's legal, I can be competitive, let's do it.
Well, there you have it. Is we're going to have 4 national champions crowned here in this national championship race. Our next one, of course, will be a continuation of Performance Touring, which will be our final national championship race of the afternoon. We want to say thanks to everyone to listening and watching us live here on SpeedcastTV.com. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Send us a note. You can also talk on the live chat there at SpeedTV.com. For more information on NASA Pro Racing online at NASAProRacing.com, and the official website for this weekend here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course is NASAChampionships.com. The Pro Course is where we're at here today, 2.25 mile, 13 turns, alongside John Lindsay, the Chief Divisional Director for the National Auto Sport Association. My name is Rob Klepper, and the sun is out. Still a little cloudy up there, but the wind is pretty much non-existent at this point. Maybe just a little breeze out there, so a great day for racing here at this beautiful race course.
And we had a question come in from the chat box there, Rob, and it was, how do you tech or check legality of SU cars? Well, if they're safety legal, pretty much that's all we check. So we look at their belts, we look at the safety gear, but other than that, it's hog wild. So you see a great variety there, Daytona prototypes, radicals. I think I saw my old buddy Norm out there with his super crazy Porsche that's a Le Mans veteran, if I remember correctly. But lots of just absolutely bonkers cars in Super Unlimited.
Coming out of the keyhole there, headed toward the kink on the back straightaway, looking for the green flag. Again, one flag flying for all the divisions here in this national championship race. As they get set to go, green flag comes out, and we are racing once again here at Mid-Ohio. Down the back straightaway, they'll head down by China Beach up into Madness, and it looks like Team Nobama taking a look to the outside as they head up the hill there, and they will fall into second. Back up to Madness, as you can see, a beautiful shot there. The fans up on the hill, one of the best places to watch here at Mid-Ohio, and yeah, getting at it early here in this national championship race.
That's an amazing collection of cars. You can see that they are just zinging through there at maximum velocity, and a great variety. But they are, at this point, looks like that's probably Brian Fessler and the Team Fessler entry. And there's that flashing light that Jeremy was talking about. Look out, here I come. Check your mirrors, because there's something there that's coming up real fast and real low.
You see the 31. We saw that car in time trials the last couple days. And these guys are flat out getting it here as they cross us here in the front straightaway. Ralph Providence, your pole sitter, the 08, Michael Bagnoli in the 8 car there. Running second, that's SU, Super Unlimited. Heading back into the keyhole here. Hard on the brakes entering the keyhole, and maybe maybe no brakes. Oh, big hit down in the keyhole. We saw a puff of smoke, thought it was locking up the brakes, and pretty much the opposite of that, a brake failure. Don't know if that was all the fluid shooting out of the brakes on the back or something wrong with the caliper, but nonetheless, the 777 ArizonaPaint.com car hard into the outside tire barrier there, and that will bring out a caution flag, if not down only in the keyhole area, but possibly a full course caution. And you can see the driver moving around there in the cockpit, so good to see that, but very hard hit down there, John.
That was a big hit, and that looked like some kind of mechanical failure, and just huge hit there. But again, good to see the driver moving around there, flipping up the helmet, and getting ready for the safety crew to come over and check him out. Probably a quick ride over to the infield medical center. But yeah, big hit. You can see those tires did their job. They stopped everybody, or stopped the momentum there, and kept that car from going over the fence or having real hard impact into that K-rail.
There's the 50 car of Dean Martin. Nice battle here for STR2. Provitt still out front of the Super Unlimited as they exit the final turn down here to the front straightaway in STR2. Again, Martin there in that red 50X car. Taking a look to the inside of the 37. That 37 car. Chris DeSalvo in STR1, so not battling for position on the racetrack, but still trying to get by. Jeffrey Sawtell, I believe, out in front in STR2 at this point. There is Dean Martin in the 50 car. As you can see, everyone trying to work their way to some clean air, I should say, as they make their way down the back straightaway. And there goes Dean Martin, and nope, you're not going to make the move right now.
Well, Dean's a tough competitor. Now, the changes in trim from his AI car, that Mustang, you can probably add a little bit more horsepower to meet the STR2 horsepower limit, and I know he has switched from the Toyo RA1 tires that he was running in the American Iron Race. So he's running probably a Hoosier Slick, if I remember right, from creeping around his pits the other day. And so that's going to pick up some big lap times for him. And we've got notification from control that we've gone to a full course yellow to go fish that one car out and get us back to green flag racing.
So full course caution out for the first time here in this national championship race. Just a quick rundown. Super Unlimited is Ralph Provitz in the 08, Michael Bagnoli in second, Team Obama number 31X, Duke Man Special in the third spot as they cross the stripe here, and everyone yields to the full course caution. So that's your top three for SU. STR2, Team Fassler out in front of Jeff Sawtell. Then you saw the 50 of Dean Martin. That's your top three. And right now in STR1, David Paterick in the 40, Scott Willem and Terry Free. Top three in STR1. And finally PTA, Kevin Harvey in the L1 out front of David Ziegler and Chris Herrick. So those are your top three there in PTA. Well, let's take a look at one more time what happened entering the keyhole. And you can see right there, I thought he was just slamming on the brakes, and then opposite, brake issue and hard hit into the outside retaining wall, and that's got to be a scary feeling. You push down on that brake pedal, nothing happens, and you go, uh-oh, we're going for a ride. And obviously the safety of this racetrack bounced him back onto the track there, and good to see the driver moving around and looked like it was okay, but a lot of heavy front end damage to that race car.
And it's a hard decision because it looked like something happened where there was a bit of lockup and then just a whole lot of nothing. So at that point, what do you really do? I've been in that similar situation. I had a little Nissan Sentra I used to race. I made an error in brake pad selection. It was pretty fantastic. I put pads that were the wrong size on, and they got tossed out of the caliper as I went for a braking point. And the decision and the absolute terror at that moment, you say, oh, geez, what do I do? So I think, you know, it's a tough deal, but you can see the drivers out of the car there, that's very good news for us, and they're going to work to get that car out of there and rebuild that tire wall. So maybe under yellow flag for a little bit.
So again, this is a 45-minute race. The second the drivers begin to leave the pit area, the paddock area, is when that time starts. So the time will continue while we are under a full course caution. And some of the cars now getting lined up. It will be a single file restart, of course. So we're going to take a break here while we are under full course caution here at Mid-Ohio. Going to crown 4 national champions here at the conclusion of this one. Stay with us. The 2012 NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires is brought to you by Toyo Tires, driven to perform. Royal Purple Synthetic Oil. And by GoPro, be a hero.
Toyo Proxys Tires, official tire of those driven to perform their best.
The next generation 201 horsepower Civic Si with a 2.4 liter IV Tech engine, to each their own, only from Honda.
Honda, proud partner of the IZOD IndyCar Series.
I don't know, some people call me one of the top builders, I guess I am, but I don't see any other way for me personally but to go after it every day. So that's what I do.
What do you drive? Is it inspiring? Was it built by a behemoth car maker? Or insightful craftsmen obsessing over the details, building better cars for a discerning few? Are you one of the few who care about what you drive and how it drives? We're with you because we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
Hi, I'm Brian Miller. Experience the Ford Racing High Performance Driving School at Miller Motorsports Park. Drive real race cars on a real racetrack. MillerMotorsportsPark.com.
We welcome you back to the very historic 61 years of racing Mid-Ohio sports car course for the 2012 NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires. My name is Rob Klepper alongside John Lindsay with the call, and we are under a full course caution here in our 3rd National Championship race of the day, as we had big trouble over there in the keyhole.
We did. We had a car lose the brakes and smack into the wall there. We are hoping to get back to green pretty quick. The Mid-Ohio safety crew here is one of the best in the business, and they'll be able to tow that car out of the way, fix up that tire wall. We'll be ready to go. So 2 questions from the chat box. Where can we find results from yesterday? Head to NASA-championships.com and click on the results link, and they should be active there for you. So you'll be able to find results from yesterday and from today's races as well pretty quickly. And also the question was asked, where and when can we download races and watch them at our leisure? So at speedcasttv.com at the NASA section there, you can actually watch yesterday's races now in their entirety. They're not cut into individual races. And today will probably be available too at the end of the day, but you'll have to watch the whole day in one chunk there. But next week, we'll have everything ready for you. With the full races, you can fast forward with the fast forward bar, but next week we'll have everything chopped individual races for you, so you can watch it all on demand at speedcasttv.com next week.
Still under the full course caution here as the cars make their way through on the front straightaway into turn at number 1. Again, a great day here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. We've talked about next year be at the Miller Motorsports Park just outside of Salt Lake City, Utah. A return after a couple years out to Utah for the 2013 NASA Championships. So looking forward to that, absolutely, as last couple of years here at Mid-Ohio have been certainly awesome as we get set, I believe, for the green flag on the back straightaway. The next lap, next time around. Thank you, Dave. We'll throw Dave a bone.
We have Dave Belinget here alongside us in the booth, and we haven't given Dave his props yet. Dave Belinget is the NASA Rocky Mountain and NASA Texas Region Director and also a technical wizard extraordinaire, and he is the one who's been feeding Rob and I all these juicy tidbits and helping us with our broadcast this weekend. So thanks, Dave. We couldn't do it without you.
So again, it looks like we're going to stay caution here as still very early in this event. Looks like about 27 minutes left to go in this national championship race. Looking for the Super Unlimited, the STR1, Super Touring R1, Super Touring R2, and Performance Touring PTA national championship to be decided here. And the fans are still hanging out there on the top side of Madness, you can see, as the cars go through. And I think we should be sitting up there next time.
Well, we could probably sit up there and have a couple of Frosties with some of the best race fans in the world, our Mid-Ohio race fans. They're very hardy people. They come out in all kinds of weather, and we really thank them for coming out to enjoy the NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course.
You know, yesterday we were talking about the fans, and it was a little chilly, it was a little windy, and it was quite rainy when we kicked it off yesterday morning here at Mid-Ohio, and they were out there. They had their hoods on, they had their parkas if they were cold, they had the umbrellas, and they were out there watching some great racing. It was pretty wild in that first race here yesterday in American Iron Extreme.
And it was nice for me at least, to see all the little kids, because quite honestly, that's the next generation of NASA racers there. So we love it when folks bring their kids out to the track. We welcome that. We have programs for young drivers who have experience in karting and everything to get started with us as young as 12 years old, provided they meet some very stringent requirements and are doing great in their schoolwork. So we really are interested in growing young drivers. We have that Teen Mazda Challenge that we do nationwide with the chance to get to that Mazda shootout where you can become a professional race driver. So again, thanks to all the fans of Mid-Ohio, and hopefully we create that family-friendly environment where everybody brings out that next generation of NASA racers.
So right now in SU, actually leading the overall, he'll be the first one to take the green flag here on the back straightaway. The 08 of Ralph Provitz picked up the win Thursday and Friday in the qualifying events out of the state of Michigan. A regular in the Midwest region, currently 6th in those points, and finds himself with the best seat in the house there. You see the 8 car behind him, that is Michael Bagnoli, followed by the Team Obama 31X. Those are your top 3 right now for Super Unlimited, as they make their way through the keyhole and back to the back straightaway.
And again, a great variety of cars. You saw a Daytona prototype in there, the small spec race or small sports racer type cars, and production body cars. So a really interesting race to watch here. It looks like we've gone green.
Yeah, it looks like the green flag is coming out, so Provitz will lead him down into, or will he? Because here comes Team Obama, big run down the back straightaway. He did this on the original start, unable to make the pass, though moves into 2nd spot by the 8 of Bagnoli. So Obama very good on these starts.
Well, I think that comes down to one word, and it's the torques. He got him.
Well, you hit your passing gear and you're gone right there. I mean, he just pulled out and rolled right on by. You can see Provitz already checking out on the rest of the field. Here's the battle now as the 8 car Bagnoli back underneath the Team Obama number 31X to reclaim that 2nd spot.
Right, and you know, it is Super Unlimited, so maybe Rick Nupin there might have had a little NOS on board too. Give him the whole shot.
So it is back to Provitz out front, Michael Bagnoli 2nd, and Team Obama 1, 2, 3 in SU as they cross the stripe coming off the final turn here. There you can hear the big power for Team Obama. In STR2 as they cross the stripe, Team Fassler, the 018 out front, Dean Martin, we talked about him, and Jeffrey Sawtell. Sawtell in that 222 Vet running in the top 3 as your leaders on the track in SU make their way back into the keyhole, and some great battles now trying to get back up on that podium side by side. So the 31 of Team Obama holding on to that third spot in SU. A great battle right now for fourth, and that will be Bert Frizzell there in the 18 and Robert Gerwitz in the 31. So as they race down here by the China Beach area and up into Madness. Nice battle to try and get on the podium here.
And that's got to be a great feeling for Rick Knoop and Julian Mann to have built their own car themselves, the Knoop Man Special. It's out there in front of a couple of pretty serious purpose-built race cars. We saw that number 16 car. Apparently he went wide on the ride at the start and he had some heavy damage, and now he's in the pits to check it out. I believe that's Alec Udell in that car, if I remember correctly, number 16.
So again, back to the battle, I believe, for the fourth spot, the 31 car in SU, Robert Gerwitz, and Bert Frizzell in the 18 car. As they cross the stripe, Gerwitz has the fourth spot. Frizzell right behind him now, back into turn number 1, nose to tails, they head to Keyhole.
We're about halfway, Rob, so we may see a little bit of stepping up here. It looks like the torque in that Chevy and that Knoop Man Special is keeping him out in front, but I would not count out either of these prototype cars that are in the next 2 spots, as they have great suspension design, great handling. But remember, under that classic looking body of that Lister really is probably the equivalent of each of those 2 cars next in line.
And Gerwitz finished second on Thursday, did not run the race on Friday, the qualifying race, and ran second here in the National Championship 1 year ago, of course, to Ryan Ellis, who picked up the win, who's not here this year. So Gerwitz now in fourth, trying to not only hold off Frizzell in fifth, but trying to run down Team Obama, who's about 4 car lengths ahead of him with all that V8 power.
And I believe that number 18 car is actually the same type of car that Ryan Ellis drove last year. I believe it is a super light SLC coupe. And that is a great chassis that proved its worth last year. And here we see it again, and a great battle going on right there. I believe that's the STR2. That is Team Fessler, Dean Martin. And there's Jeff Sawtell again, our winner, I believe, from our TTS class from earlier today. And he's right there in the mix to get on the podium and perhaps step up a couple of notches for STR2.
Yeah, that is 1, 2, and 3 in STR2. The 018 of Team Fassler, and then of course the red 50. Easy to see the 50 of Dean Martin, and then the blue and white Corvette 222 of Jeff Sawtell as they cross the start-finish line.
It looks like the next position is Richard Golinello, and Robin Burnett's in there too. So we're seeing some familiar names from our American Iron Race. Oh, and Dean Martin had a big off. Something happened there, and he is way off. Looks like there's debris in turn 1, so there may have been something that they hit. Looks like that may be Terry Free that is, yeah, that's Terry Free that blew up, so they probably had a little oil or something down there from where Terry blew up. Dean and Brian Fessler look to have hit it and gone straight off there into the grass. But doesn't look like any damage for those 2 cars. A little bit of a wild ride. You see the corner marshal there from Mid-Ohio going up to see if Terry needs a little help with the cool bottle there.
Yeah.
So it looks a little glistening there.
Yeah, you could see right there, you know, we talked about Terry Free possibly blowing up, and yeah, it's a little shiny there on the outside there of turn number 1. So Terry Free very wisely driving that car, coasting that car straight over to the corner worker who is holding a fire extinguisher if there is any kind of issue there. So very smart move by him to go over there and get right to the corner worker in case there is a problem on the racetrack. But
right.
yeah, I think Dean Martin just hit some of that oil there and just went for a little ride, but no harm, no foul. He's all right.
Well, and you see that Terry was good enough to get offline pretty quick there and try to get over in the grass, so any of the rest of the vital fluids of that Corvette that were coming out ended up on the grass, which is not really a big deal, not great environmentally, shall we say, but at least it's not on the racing surface and making things really slick for the other competitors in the class.
So Richard Golinello with Dean Martin driving off the racetrack now has moved into third. Jeff Sawtell has obviously there moved into second, right behind Team Fassler there in the 018. So as they race, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 in line for STR2. And Fassler slides a little bit high, a little tight, maybe going down into Keyhole. And Jeff Sawtell on the binders, working the low line off turn number 3 now. Down through the kink. Here's the battle for the lead.
Look at these guys, door handle to door handle, drag race, Corvette versus Mustang. Corvette pulled it out. Might be the aerodynamics. Might have they're both limited to the same amount of stomp. But again, the slipperier aerodynamics, you know, Mustangs, God bless them, sometimes they can still be a little bit of a barn door in aerodynamic terms. The Corvette, Sawtelle, got on the wood there, and he gave it the maximum amount of stick, and he managed to get by Brian Fessler.
And I think there is something wrong with that 18 car. Brian Fessler, very slow. We saw him on the brakes there, entering madness, and falls back to the 4th spot now as Golinello gets by, Dean Martin gets by, and I don't know if he had a problem with that car, if he had a tire going down or what, but nonetheless, he is experiencing some kind of problems there. So he goes from the lead back to 4th right now, and it will even get worse as everyone else goes right by the early leader, Brian Fessler, there in the 018. Looks like all 4 tires are up, so possibly something underneath the hood.
Maybe that drag race, maybe he hit the rev limiter a little bit too hard and something got launched. So definitely sad to see that. He was having a great run out there, and sad to see him retiring now.
So the battle now for the 2nd spot, Richard Golinello in STR2 in that white 55X. Right behind him, the red 50 of Dean Martin. That's the battle for a 2nd. As we move up a little bit, heading into the madness area, that is the 40 Chevy Corvette of David Pinterick. Nope.
Looks like a Dodge Viper.
Dodge Viper. It is a Dodge Viper.
Corvette Viper. They kind of look the same. 2 more cylinders in one of them, you know. Beautiful car, David Pinterick. He is doing a great job, but we just got notice that Scott Wellham in the STR1 class, who is running behind David Pinterick, just set a new track record time of 1:29.859. And David Pinterick actually took it back. The computer popped up 2 lap records on us, but David Pinterick ran a 1:29.346. So both of those guys running on lap record pace, and the lap record for STR1 here at Mid-Ohio now belongs to David Pinterick, our front runner in STR1.
So the number 61 there is Scott Wilhelm.
Also a Viper, and that looks like one of the competition coupes that they made for a while there. David's looks to be more of a street model. But again, Dodge Viper's very popular choice for the ST1 class. That 8-liter V10, big horsepower, just a monstrous car and great fun to drive. Very tricky, but you can see both of these guys using that big V10 power to get to the front in STR1.
And Scott there in the 61 finished 5th in the national championship 1 year ago. As we move back up to Super Unlimited, Team No Bomba there in the 31X. Heading into Thunder Valley. So the race for SU, still pretty hot and heavy there. Provitz out in front, Michael Bagnoli, Robert Gerwitz, Team No Bomba as they go back and forth. You mentioned Bert Frizzell there as well as they cross the stripe here. Gerwitz in the 4th spot in the 31, followed by the 18 of Bert Frizzell. About 16 minutes left in this national championship race. So this is the battle right now for 3rd and 4th, a 3-car battle. Trying to get on the podium.
Big time. So that 3rd spot is significant because 4th, congratulations, but you don't get to stand up and spray the champagne and have your picture taken. But 3rd place, it's a big deal. So I suspect this race will continue to stay hot. Team Nobama had a good finish there in our time trial R class, so they're looking for another good finish in Super Unlimited today here at the 2012 NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires.
And Gerwitz in that 31 car 1 year ago came home 2nd in the national championships here at Mid-Ohio. He's out of nearby Columbus, so a lot of hometown fans, and would love to do well here in his home state at the national championships. But first is going to have to get by that 31X right in front of him, Team Nobama. As we work back over to the keyhole area. The PTA leader right now is the 85, David Ziegler. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, John. That is a Chevy Corvette.
You know, you're right. That's not a Viper, Rob. That is a Chevy Corvette of the 5th generation, commonly known as a C5. It's a coupe, so it's a Z06 model. Those were really cool cars when they came out. I remember test driving one at a Chevy dealer over in El Monte, California, near where I was living in Pasadena at the time. And what a neat car. Chevy really had a great car there with lighter weight, thinner back glass than the coupe or the more traditional fastback model, and a wonderful car, a great tool. David Ziegler is really putting about a 10-second lead on the rest of the PTA field, so he's having a great run here today in Performance Touring A, the top dog in the Performance Touring class.
Yeah, regular with the Great Lakes region, currently leading the points there out of Baltimore, Ohio. Won on Thursday in the qualifying race and finished second on Friday, hence why he started up front. And definitely one of the fastest here at Mid-Ohio in PTA. So he continues on there through that final turn onto the front straightaway to cross the stripe, and we'll see if he has been able to. Oh, and now Team Nobama off the pace. They're very slow underneath the Honda bridge. And a terminal problem for the 31X was running in the third position. Comes to a stop, and you got to think motor at this point.
Got to be motor, and it's got to be something big. You know, the car has been out, what was it, out in 9 time trial sessions. It did all the qualifying races here. So, you know, you ask a lot of a car, and as we talked about earlier, we can have a fast, cheap, and reliable. I know from experience that this car is not cheap. Fast and reliable, but you can only be so reliable with 750 horsepower. So, poor thing probably blew up. Trans, motor, we don't know. So, another question from the chat box. Who are the drivers for Team Nobama in the time trial session? I believe it's my old friend Julian Mann from Hollywood, California. And Rick Knoop is the other driver, and he has been handling the race sessions. So that's probably Rick Knoop out there sitting down and just pounding the steering wheel with a little bit of frustration that his faithful chariot gave it up for him here in the Super Unlimited National Championship race.
And an overall new leader on the racetrack, Michael Bagnoli, gets by the 08, or does he? Still side by side with Provitz for Super Unlimited and the overall lead, and he will get it done. So Michael Bagnoli runs down the 08 of Provitz, takes the lead, or does he? Again, they go side by side through the carousel. Now onto the front straightaway, slower traffic in front of him.
Oh, wow.
Dipping, diving, and sliding around on the racetrack, and Provitz retakes the lead at the stripe. Bagnoli falls back to second. Wow, great little battle there for the lead here in SU.
Geez, I thought they were going to goalpost that Mustang.
Well, again, they have some cars in front of them. They're going to have to work their way around the Corvette there, then some Mustangs to get by as well. And so Provitz says, you know what? I don't think I want you to lead. He took it right back. Bagnoli did a great job to get it, made a nice pass. They went side by side through the carousel. We don't see that a lot. Side by side on the front straightaway, then use some of the slower traffic to get back by the 8 car of Bagnoli, retake the lead. So Provitz now, as he heads back up to Madness,
now here's where these guys
back into the lead.
Here's where the 2 lower cars here are thinking, boy, you know, I got to be a little careful because I'm coming up with these big sedans around me, you know, and they are trying to be fast, and they can be with the low weight that those sports racer type cars have and the big horsepower, so they can get around there, but they're being very careful as they pick their way through this pack. With now we have Ralph Provitz again out there in front of our Super Unlimited and the entire field.
We caught a glimpse there of the 5 car, David Davison, an STR 1 car. There he is, the blue and silver machine, now right behind this 8 of Bagnoli.
And it looks like both David Pinterick and Dean Martin have set new track records. David Pinterick in STR1 and Dean Martin in STR2 have now reset new track records.
So Provitz works his way through turn 1, back up to the keyhole, has a pretty good lead now with no slower traffic in front of him, but no slower traffic behind him to have to worry about Bagnoli running him down, as we saw that 5 car off just a little bit. As Bagnoli working his way off turn number 3, down the back straightaway. You can see right there, that's the distance between first and second in Super Unlimited. It's funny looking at that light blinking like that. You think that he's got his own little caution light on there, but like you said, it is kind of a caution light to let the guys in front of him know that he's coming.
Well, it's not a bad idea at all. You know, Rob, you've been out to the desert and you've seen the buggies out in Glamis or whatever with the big whip antennas. The lights there, so kind of the same concept, and just enhancing the safety a little bit. That looks like David Pinterick. That's a Viper, Rob.
That is a Dodge Viper. You know, it looks a lot like a Corvette from about a few feet away.
I agree, Rob. I'm just messing with you.
So David Pinterick right now out front in the Dodge Viper number 40 STR1 leader. And Pinterick, who won on Thursday night from Canfield, Ohio, picked up the win here in this race last year as well. So looking to go back-to-back. About 9 minutes left to go. Unofficially under 10 minutes here in this national championship race.
Looks like David has about a 10-second lead on that next Viper of Scott Wellham in STR1.
So right now it's David Pinterick, Scott Wellham, and David Davison, your top three in STR1. Chris DeSalvo, Gregory Wellingoff, and Terry Free right now rounding out your field. Free, of course, we mentioned had an issue on the racetrack in STR2. Jeff Sawtell out front of Dean Martin, Rich Golinello, Craig Capaldi, Robin Burnett. That's your top five. PTA, David Sigler in the 85, Rory Alsberg in the 153 second, the 01 of Kevin Harvey, Morris Morgan, and Chris Herrick, your top five. That is PTA on the racetrack. And finally, we mentioned SU, Ralph Probate still out front, Bagnoli, Burt Brazil, your top three. Guritz and the 04 of Milne Goldridge, your top five in SU. And now the top five we just talked about. The 5 car of David Davison off the racetrack, comes to a stop, was running third in STR1, and you got to think from that shot that he just got loose coming down to Madness, made a hard left turn into the grass. Hard to say, but nonetheless, he comes to a stop there, John, and it doesn't like he has isn't able to continue.
Well, and he and Chris DeSalvo were having a really good battle, and I thought on one of the wider camera shots that I noted a little bit of smoke, and that may have been Davison starting to have a little trouble there. And, well, we got another spinner. Looks like that is one of the prototypes. Oh, darn.
Right off in turn one. Looked like he was going to be able to save it.
That's Robert Gewirtz, I think. And I think he just, got into some fluid or something, and it looked like a big lurid slide there. Thought he was going to save it, and he has now stuffed it into the tire wall there. Hopefully he can refire, back it out, and continue. Doesn't look like it is too damaged. It doesn't look like it was a real hard hit. But again, that's a Daytona prototype car, and those are maybe a little more fragile than some of our old stick axle knuckle dragon muscle cars.
So he sits there just to the inside of the racetrack, inside of turn number one, as the rest of these cars now head into turn 2 and turn 3, known as the keyhole. You see that 01 car. I believe that is Kevin Harvey on the racetrack, as we have about 6 minutes. 6 minutes left in this national championship. Kevin Harvey in the 01 car out of Mooresville, North Carolina, regular in the southeast region. And it looks like the white flag has come out, so we're off just a smidget.
Well, I think that's probably a good call by our officials up in the control tower to do the white flag a little bit early. They've got a couple of cars out there in maybe a little perilous spot there. It'd be really hard for anyone to get over to Gewirtz there where he is stopped, but I think they want to just checker it a little bit early and let it go and go get those disabled cars off the racetrack.
And the battle on the last lap for the overall lead, the black car to the left, that is Bagnoli, takes it from Provitz. Here we go again as they head into Madness. Again, the overall lead and SU National Championship up for grabs. Michael Bagnoli took the lead, fell back to second, maybe cooled his race car down, got his thoughts together, made a run at it, and now we're nose to tail. Bagnoli out in front. Into Thunder Valley they go. Provitz taking a peek to the inside. John can't quite do it, pushes up.
Holy moly.
We saw these guys go side by side through the carousel.
Oh boy.
They could have an opportunity to do that. Again is Bagnoli trying to pick up the national championship here in SU. Provitz driving it in deep. The final couple corners as they head to the front straightaway. Not going to do it, and Bagnoli will pick up the win. Wow, in Super Unlimited, that's how you get it done. You thought at some point there the Provitz had it wrapped up. Bagnoli ran him back down past him on the last lap and took the win. Wow, big win for Michael Bagnoli here in SU.
Oh, forget about it. I mean, you paid for the whole seat, but you're only using the edge in this one.
Finished up 7th in the race last year, is a national champion here in 2012. David Pinterick there leading STR1 on the final lap. Scott Willem second, Chris DeSalvo third, and Pinterick trying to pick up the national championship and go back-to-back here in STR1 as he won in 2011 here at Mid-Ohio.
And it looks like Chris DeSalvo had moved up into that third spot with David Davison retiring, so Chris has got to be happy, and it's great to see the diversity here in STR1. We've got 2 Vipers and a Mustang of all things.
Final couple of turns for David Pinterick, and he will hammer down across the stripe and pick up the win here in STR1. Congratulations, going back-to-back here at Mid-Ohio.
And we actually have David Pinterick here on our Samson Racing radio net, so let's bring David up on the network and talk to him about his STR1 championship. Hey David, this is John Lindsay and Rob Klepper up here in the booth. Congratulations on an STR1 championship.
Thanks, John, and thank you, Samson Racing. Pretty cool stuff.
All right, David, congratulations again, and a great drive there in your Dodge Viper, and we will look forward to hearing from you again in the pits with Jeremy Scott.
Thanks, John. Good talking to you. Congratulations to everybody out here.
Yeah, it was a super good run there for David Pinterick to picking up the win there in STR1, and I tell you what, man, that SU final lap, you know, we saw Provitz kind of check out. Bagnoli ran him down, passed him. Provitz said, "Okay, that's cool, dude. You can do that. I'm gonna pass you back. I'm gonna step it up a notch." Kind of pulled away a little bit. Then all of a sudden, catching maybe some of the lap traffic, Bagnoli able to reel him back in and pass him. And I don't know if it kind of made him think, "Whoa, where'd this guy come from again?" But nonetheless, Bagnoli gets the win. Provitz gets second in SU. Bert Frizzell comes home third. Norm Goldrich, Robert Gurwitz, they're shown in the 5th spot as he ended up off the racetrack. But just a tremendous race there across the board. In STR2, of course, Jeff Sawtell, Gullinello, and then Dean Martin there, your top 3 on the podium. So just some great racing there in that national championship race. We mentioned David Pinterick, Scott Willem, and Chris DeSalvo, the top 3 for STR1. So David Ziegler also picking up the win at PTA. So crowning 4 more national champions. 1 more big race to go, but wow, just an awesome performance, especially in the SU class there.
It was wonderful to watch. I mean, there was a potential for, you know, we had the big crash earlier on with the radical there into the keyhole turn, and we had a little bit of yellow flag time, but everybody really did a wonderful job in this SU, STR1, STR2, and PTA national championship race.
Your SU final results: Michael Bagnoli gets the win. Ralph Provitz finishes second. Bert Frizzell third. Norm Goldrich and Robert Gurwitz finishes in the 5th spot.
STR1, David Pinterick taking the national championship as well as resetting the lap record multiple times during this race. Scott Wellham second place. Chris DeSalvo in third. Gregory Wellinghoff up next. David Davidson, then Terry Free.
In STR2, the blue and white 222 Chevy Corvette, Jeff Sawtell gets the win. Richard Golinello second, Dean Martin third, and Craig Paldy fourth, and Robin Burnett rounds out your top 5.
PTA, David Ziegler in that C5 Z06 taking the win. Rory Ellsberg up next. Kevin Harvey in third. Chris Herrick in fourth. Morris Morgan in 5th, and Justin Onderko in the 6th place position in Performance Touring A.
So some great racing there in our national championship race for PTA, SU, STR1, and STR2. As a handful of drivers had some issues out there, got off to a rocky start there in the keyhole. A couple other guys spinning off the course, trying to use it up like you talked about. You know, trying to get to the front as quick as they can and make their car wide and use as much racetrack as possible to do it. And sometimes it paid off. For others, it did not pay off. So unfortunate for some drivers, but very fortunate for 4 drivers as they pick up a national championship here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. You can see the still a very beautiful scenery here in Mid-Ohio, and even more beautiful down in Victory Lane is Mr. Jeremy Scott.
Don't touch the car.
Wow, I don't know what to say to that. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
First of all, Michael Bagnoli, congratulations. What a final lap there. Let's talk about that.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Ralph is such a phenomenal driver. He coached me. He taught me everything. It was just unbelievable that it came about like that. It was a great last lap. I mean, the opportunity, the door just opened. I was able to outpull him on the back stretch and take him into 7. And at that point, I was able to kind of stay in front. And that's just up through the S's and down and around, and that's what it took. So I just thank God I was in the position to be able to do that. That's what was so great.
Well, it's been you and Ralph all season long, just handle hard for. He hasn't won, it's you that's winning. This has got to be great for both you guys.
It is fabulous. We are classically the David amongst the Goliath. I mean, we come in here with cars that are a fraction of the cost. You know, here's my crew. Right here, my lovely wife and my kids. I mean, and that's what makes it happen for me, and it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. It hasn't sunk in just yet. It hasn't sunk in.
Well, congratulations. And Corey, I want you to show something what we're doing here. We're kind of holding the car. Rob, I know you've been pit reporter for off-road cars. I don't think you've done this before, though. It's kind of fun.
I can't let it drift into Ralph's car, and then
Victory lane as Bagnoli has done a great job.
All right, congrats.
Thanks very much.
Good
Appreciate
job.
it very much.
All right. Let's go find another winner.
So Jeremy Scott down at Victory Lane, very excited, Michael Bagnoli, and rightfully so, because he got a big win here today.
That was huge, and I guess we can call Jeremy Parking Brake Scott now.
Right, yeah, he's holding the car from rolling away, but doing a great job down there talking to all the winners. Again, folks, if you're just joining us here on SpeedcastTV.com, more racing left to come, so stay with us here, and you can get the official results at NASAChampionships.com and all things National Autosport Association online at NASAProRacing.com. Follow us on Twitter at NASAProRacing, hashtag NASAChamps, and hashtag MidOhio. Some of the youngsters out there waiting for the next race to come out on the racetrack, and a great view there on the top side of Madness. Already put in for the next time we're back here at Mid-Ohio that want to move the booth over there.
I think so.
Can we make that happen?
Sure, why not?
That would certainly be awesome for sure. No, doing a great job here in that last national championship race. You know, we focused a lot on Bagnoli and SU as those guys were going back and forth. It was great to see Sawtell get the win in STR1, Penteric there in STR2, and of course in PTA, David Ziegler, who started in front of the rest of the PTAs, but doing a great job to get the win. Now let's get it back down to Jeremy Scott in Victory Lane.
Thanks, Rob. A little bit easier job this time. I don't have to hold the car up. But Jeff Sawtell's your winner in STR2. Congratulations. Got to feel good winning a race class here at the championships.
Jeremy, this is some tough competition. This STR2 race with Dean Martin in it, you know, a really, really good driver. I feel very lucky to have gotten out of there with a win. Did real well in time trials, got a second overall there, got a second overall in the ST2 race. Coming home with a win here is really, really sweet. My Hoosier tire, CSI Performance, Fott Racing Suspension, Corvette Z06 did the job. It's fantastic. Fantastic.
Congrats, Jeff. And as you can see, guys, this is what a win at the championships can do for you. Rob?
Well, thanks, Jeremy, and you're absolutely right. You know, we talked about winning a race like this, and you take home the national championships, and like a case of Bagnoli there, you make just a crazy wild pass on the last lap, and like you said, you know, it just hasn't sunk in yet.
It really doesn't, and you get home and you say, wow, did I really just do that? And this is a field that is very deep in talent, and deep in talent not only in driving, but in car preparation and everything else. And it's really great to see someone whose crew is Mama and the kids, and he's taking home a big win there in a class where the sky's the limit, no rules on preparation. You heard about the David and Goliath, and just proving out that formula that often it's just raw dedication and just the willingness to make that commitment to making some of those moves that'll get you the national championship.
Well, in front of us, folks, in the booth here, we see a few clouds, but the sun peeking through is now the 98 car of, I believe, James Wagaman on the rollback there after contact on the racetrack in STR2. So a handful of cars experiencing issues in this most recent national championship race. they'll get him picked up and back to the pit area, do a nice course check, and make sure we are all good to go here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course.
And you can see there a grid worker, perhaps in more traditional attire than we saw. The gentleman earlier was my good friend Don Barnwell, and he was wearing what he calls tacticilts.
I think it was just a kilt.
Well, no, it actually, Don's a very good friend of mine, and these are tacticilts that he makes.
Wow.
They're made out more with a non-traditional style, so they are more with a utility kind of kilt design. And he says they're unbelievably comfortable. This from a guy that works all day on hot pavement, so he says the added freedom of movement and comfort is really something. So Don Barnwell there with his tacticilts, he makes them in all kinds of camouflage colors, and pretty interesting. He was wearing them around town here, and there were definitely some folks giving him a look.
Yeah, no, an odd feeling here in Lexington, Ohio for sure. Let's get it back down to Jeremy.
Thanks, Rob. Here with our STR1 winner, David Pintarek. And David, he had a wild year, to say the least, but this has got to be the highest of the highs.
It feels good to be here. I'm grateful to be supported by a wonderful team. Kreider Racing, the guys there at Matt Miller, Jerry Palmer, Reed and Sandy, Matt Carson, they all do a great job. And then I've got the support of Carbotech and Hoosier. All I got to do is drive the car, and they make it so good that even a monkey like me can go forward.
Well, congratulations. And an interesting thing is, the car's technically not yours either.
No, it's a very nice gentleman by the name of Mark Kirby has purchased it. I'm delivering it to him after a race next week up in Wisconsin. And so I had to dial it down a little bit because I don't want to ball up somebody else's car.
Well, maybe you can raise the price up a bit, because now it's a championship winner. Congratulations.
Very much.
Guys, back to you in the booth. We're going to get pre-race for you.
Well, thanks a lot, Jeremy Scott. Good job down there, and congratulations once again to PTA winner David Ziegler, SU Michael Bagnoli, STR1 David Pintarek, and STR2 Jeff Sawtell. Congratulations on your national championships. We're going to take a break here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Final race coming up when we come back, the 2012 NASA Championships. The 2012 NASA Championships, presented by Toyo Tires, is brought to you by Toyo Tires, driven to perform. Royal Purple Synthetic Oil. And by GoPro, be a hero.
Toyo Proxys Tires, official tire of those driven to perform their best.
The next generation 201 horsepower Civic Si with a 2.4-liter IV Tech engine, to each their own, only from Honda.
Honda, proud partner of the IZOD IndyCar Series.
I don't know, some people call me one of the top builders. I guess I am, but I don't see any other way for me personally but to go after it every day. So that's what I do.
What do you drive? Is it inspiring? Was it built by a behemoth car maker? Or insightful craftsmen obsessing over the details, building better cars for a discerning few? Are you one of the few who care about what you drive and how it drives? We're with you because we believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
Hi, I'm Brian Miller. Experience the Ford Racing High Performance Driving School at Miller Motorsports Park. Drive real race cars on a real racetrack. MillerMotorsportsPark.com